What's up, mga papi? Today, a short video lang about how not to brick in Yu-Gi-Oh! So, malaking problem yan sa lahat, hindi naman sa lahat, sa mga duelists, lalo na sa mga bago sa game, sa mga wala pa masyadong experience sa deck building. So, we're gonna be here to try and talk about it and try to help you guys out kung nakakaroon man kayo ng problema doon. Andito si Jedah, hindi ko alam kung makakapag-contribute siya pero nandiyan siya para makigulo. So let's start. So ito yung site na ginagamit ko madalas. It's Yu-Gi-Oh.party. So basically, when it comes to probabilities sa Yu-Gi-Oh, ang ginagamit actually ay permutations and combinations. It's not something that we're gonna go into kasi medyo masyado siyang mathematical, pero it's basically, at the root of it, it's just factorials and fractions. So, hindi naman siya sobrang complicated, pero, you know, meron namang website na gumagawa na nito para sa atin, so why not just use it? Hindi na natin kailangang malaman yung theories behind it. So, ito yung website. So, I'll just quickly show you how it's used. So, basehan natin yung deck profile na to. I named it Demo Salamangreat. Ito yung deck profile na ginamit ko nung nanalo ako dun sa IRL Nexus tournament last time. I forgot when it was. I think it was last month or last month. So, ito yung deck na ginamit ko. And I won everything pretty much. Like, ako yung nag-champ doon. Hindi naman flex, no, pero para naman may credibility naman ng kahit paano. So hindi naman to deck profile, so hindi ko na masyadong i-detail kung ano man yung reasoning behind the cards and the ratio. So let's just hop right into the ratios and how they stack up in the sense na gaano kadalas ko makikita yung mga kailangan ko. So there's two main categories of cards na madalas ginagamit, lalo na sa on a basic level. The first one would be the starters, and the second one would be hand traps. So the starters are gonna be here, and the hand traps are gonna be somewhere around here. So tingnan natin kung ilan ba yung starters ko sa deck, and then check natin kung ilang % of the time ko makikita yung mga starters ko sa starting hand. So let's start with Lady Debug. Ito yung first and primary starter, the best in the deck. It searches Gazelle basically. So best starter. Secondary, si Buffalo, and then Signet Mining, Circle because it searches Gazelle again, and then Gazelle. So ito yung main starters natin, 10, just 10. So let's see what percentage it will be. So deck size is gonna be 40 kasi naka 40 cards tayo dito. Hand size is 5 for going first. So yun muna yung tingnan natin, going first 5. So how many starters do I have? So pangalanan na natin as starters. And then amount. Yung amount na to is how many of those cards do you have in your deck. So we have 10 in the deck right now. So 10 cards, and then you set kung ilan man yung gusto mong makita. Minimum 1 and maximum, let's say 5, kasi yun yung may chance na makakuha ka ng 5 starters. So ibig sabihin lang nito, you have 78.34% chance to open at least one starter. Now, yung nakita nyo kanina na 41.65%, baka isipin nyo mababa. Kasi ito yung chance na makakita ka ng isa lang, ng literal na isa lang. Yung chance na makakita ka ng 1 or 2 is like 69.41. Nice. So, again, it just increases kung ilan man yung hand mo. So, sa first hand, that's gonna be 5. So, you have a chance of opening at least 1 at a rate na 78.34%. So, it's actually pretty good. Pretty decent percentage here. So yun yung sa starters. But then you can also take into account yung Foxy is actually also a pseudo starter. So pwede mo rin siyang isama. So pwede natin ilagay na 11 instead of 10. So 81.95% of the time you're gonna open at least one starter in your hand. And that's pretty good because you also get the chance to draw into Buffalo, and you're gonna need another Cybers as well. And sa starters mo, meron ka mga Cybers. So that's another good thing about it. Muscle memory mag-save. So yun yung sa starters. Now let's go into the hand traps. The hand traps are here basically. Yung hand traps ko, ang lineup ko that tournament was 3 Ash, 3 Nibiru, 3 Ghost Ogre, and 1 Imperm. Take note na IRL tournament to, and I only have 1 Imperm. as of now. So, isa lang yung ginamit ko. So, ito yung hand trap lineup ko ng tournament na yun. It's also 10. So, it's gonna be around the same percentage. So, even if you go second, you still have a 78% chance to actually open a hand trap para magkaroon ka ng interaction sa kalaban mo during their turn. Lalo na ngayon, magiging useful yan kasi sobrang lakas ng mga decks ngayon going first. So, it's always good to have hand traps. So, saan papasok yung idea na kailan ka magbe-break or kailan ka hindi magkakaroon ng hand trap? So, tingnan natin yung kung magkaroon ka ng onti lang na starters. So, let's say ang starters mo lang, let's remove Foxy, this, and this. So, let's say gusto mo debug lang yung starter mo talaga. Kung ang kinoconsider mo lang na starter ay si debug and tatlong Signet Mining which searches debug, that's gonna be just 6, right? And then you can also have Gazelle, obviously. So, let's put Gazelle back in. So, that's gonna be 7. So, yung 7 starters mo, tingnan natin kung ilan yung percentage nun. 7 gets you to about 63.93%, which is basically 64%. So, that's actually pretty low considering na it's almost half lang. So, almost 50% of the time ka lang makaka-open ng at least one starter. So, I don't think that's something that you want to be able to do. So, yan yung sa Salaman Great. So, meron pa yung ibang klase ng interactions itong website na to. So, I'm gonna show you real quick another deck, I guess. Oops. So, let's go to this. So, ito yung isa sa mga inayos kong deck ngayon, Orcust. I'm trying to work it out kasi medyo clunky siya because we're playing the Scrap engine and the Phantom Knights engine. Pero, I think it's a good example of it's a good example para mapakita yung probabilities. So, let's look at the starters that I have. The starters that I have are the Warrior package plus the Rota. And then 3 Gearsus, 3 Scrap Recyclers. That leaves me at 9 starters and 41 cards as you can see here. Fun fact, meron ako Instant Fusion for Winda just in case maganda siyang gamitin over Dragoon. So, let's look at it. 41 cards. So, babaguhin lang natin yung deck size. Hand size is still 5 because we're looking at the starting hand. Tapos yung starters ko ay 9. So, right now, the deck that I'm running actually has a 73.13% chance of opening at least one starter. So, that's pretty good on the basic level. Now, let's look at another thing that you can do with this site, which is you can use 2 cards kasi. So, for example, gusto kong malaman ano ba yung percentage na makapag-open ako ng isang return at ng isang Orcust name. Because I'm gonna be able to resolve return unless they have Ash, of course. So, tingnan natin. Ilagay natin yung orchestrated return. And yung number niya sa deck. So, that's just gonna be 2. So, minimum 1, maximum 2 because there's only 2 in the deck, right? And then, let's put Orcust names. Tapos, bilangin natin kung ilan. So, we have 3 Gearsus. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, note that I'm going to include World Wand because it's actually usable by Orchestrated Return as a cost. So, that's gonna be 10. And then, minimum of 1, maximum of 4. Because we need the other slot para dun sa Orchestrated Return. So, in this case, makikita natin na yung chance to open that is actually 16.34%. So, that's my chance of drawing this particular combo, which basically allows me to draw 2, dig deeper into my deck, and maybe search for starters or hand traps, or just bait interruptions like Ash and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Isa lang yan sa mga. Now that's another use of this website. So meron pang isa na magandang way para gamitin yung website, which is basically going above 40 cards. Ano ba yung chance? Ano ba yung deviation natin dun sa percentage na makapag-open ng combos? So for example, let's remove this. And then let's go back to checking our starters. So starters. So this is actually something that I've been doing for a while now. Kasi I've always thought before, nung beginner ako, na it should always be 40 because that's the most optimal. But at the end of the day, you have to look at the numbers. How much does it really change? So for example, I have 9 starters. I'm always going to keep 9 starters because that's actually pretty low already. So I'm always going to keep 9. So I'm debating, for example, whether or not I want to run Instant Fusion. So let's say I don't have Instant Fusion, right? So that's going to leave me at 40 cards. So my deck is gonna be 40 cards, and I have 9 starters, and I want to open at least one. So sa ganitong setup, I have 74.18% chance, but that is actually going to sacrifice Instant Fusion, which is a good line of play if you want to use it against decks that automatically lose to Winda. So you have 74.18% chance but without Instant Fusion, right? So let's say any power card that you want, tapos gusto mo i-cut kasi gusto mo mag 40. Let's see how much impact it actually has. So let's make it 41, and you can see that it actually just dropped to 73.13%, which actually isn't a lot. Like, you can check it out. 73.13 versus 74.18. That's literally 1%. To put that into context, that's gonna be 1 out of 100 games na magmamatter yung pagkuha mo ng starters. So, narinig yung tuta. Nagtatahulan sila. So, yeah. So anyway, yun. Just keep that in mind. Hindi ko na go through lahat ng possible ways to use this website. Kasi magmamatter dyan yung deck mo, yung deck size mo, the text that you have in your deck, the hand traps that you have in your deck. So ayun. Ayun lang naman. Ikaw, Jedah, meron ka bang input? Meron ka bang gustong sabihin? Anong question mo? Yes, I think nakapaglaro na ako ng ilang tournaments na hindi 40 cards ang gamit ko. Obviously it was okay actually, kasi at the end of the day, nagde-deck build ako with numbers. Now, maraming magsasabi na hindi naman kailangan ng math, Now that's true, kasi technically you could, hindi naman sa hater. Ang sinasabi ko lang, you don't need it, but it's damn good to have it. Kasi yes, with experience you can you can actually get a feel of how many starters you need in a deck, how many hand traps you need in a deck. Pero it's always gonna be 100% better kung babakapan mo siya ng mathematics and probability, because at the end of the day, that's part of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's not just deck building, it's not just you playing in the game, it's also about you and how you build your deck. Kasi kung kahit gaano ka kagaling, kung pangit yung numbers and yung percentages ng deck, chances are you're just gonna lose. Now, there could be some runs that you get lucky kasi sa Pilipinas, yung tournaments natin, medyo maliliit lang yung rounds. Like 3 rounds, 4 rounds, 5 rounds. When you get to the higher level, it's gonna be like 10 rounds, 12 rounds over the course of 2 days. And if your deck is just not built properly with math, and chances are you're gonna see bricks in your hand. And this video is all about not having bricks in your hand. So there's that. Hindi naman. Pero, yeah. So, yun. Ayun lang, guys. So, use this to your advantage para lahat tayo mag-level up. So, aside from this website, actually, kung hindi kayo laging online, you can actually check this out. It's called Yugi Brick. Gawa to ni Tenten. I was actually going to... ginamit ko to kasi I was actually going to develop one kasi ginamit ko yung formula mismo ng combinations to find out the ratios at some point. And I was like, I wanna make an app for it. And then I remembered na may pinost nga pala si Tenten na ganito. So, chinek ko kung yun nga yung ginagawa ng app niya kasi I didn't really pay attention to it when I saw the post. And then I figured out na yun nga yung tinatry gawin ng app niya. But nagkaroon ng bug, I think, because brute force yung ginamit na approach, recursive function in writing the app. So I reported it to him and it's now fixed actually. So you guys can safely use this kasi pwede siya offline eh. So yun, you can actually explore this as well if you want. Anything else?
wala akong madagdag kasi.
Ayun, so yun na yung contribution ni Jedah, and that would be it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Dislike, unsubscribe, and report the video. Till next time.